And if y'all don't know and y'all can't see, you see, I got my new chair. My posture game is on point. I'm nice and upright, not leaned over like the hunchback of Notre Dame. But in any event, we're going to talk about how did I get a $4,400 check? How did I save over $3,000 a year on my mortgage payment? It wasn't a refi. It was just one thing that if you're a homeowner or thinking about being a homeowner or want to be a homeowner, or hell, you know a homeowner, you definitely need to tell them to tune into this video, because I'm going to tell y'all how I found some extra money just lying on the table. Y'all stay tuned. Let's get it. Yo, what's good? I'm Marcus. You're at the channel The Debt Free Dad, where it's all about financial takes, financial topics, current events. But most importantly, I'll let y'all know what we have going on over here in the household of The Debt Free Dad, as we're on our path to financial freedom and looking to become first generation millionaires. As always, I got to give the disclaimer. I am a licensed attorney, licensed in multiple jurisdictions, but that's irrelevant because I'm not y'all attorney. I'm not giving any legal advice or financial advice. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on, giving my opinion and takes, entertainment purposes. That whole disclaimer to keep them folks over there at the bar off of brother ass, just in case something get wild. Now, let's dive into it. If you're new to the channel, you may not be aware, but last year, the year before last, the county I live in made a tax mistake as it relates to how my residential property is taxed. 2 years in a row, these chuckleheads inadvertently labeled my property as essentially abandoned property. And what's the problem with abandoned property? Abandoned property get taxed at 4, almost 5 times higher a tax rate as residential property. It's cars parked in the yard, there's a sprinkler system, there's a dog out there running around, trampoline in the backyard. These chuckleheads 2 years in a row classified my damn property as abandoned. My property taxes went up. When my loan servicer went to go pay the property taxes, they were like, wait a minute, you don't got enough in your escrow account to pay the property taxes. So you know what that means? I'm like, oh man, what does that mean? My damn mortgage payment went up ridiculous, like something like $3,000. Now, you would think it's an easy fix by just telling them that it's a mistake, but no. They adjust your mortgage payment because the servicer actually sent that erroneous large-ass amount to the local tax office. So I had to go through so many bells and whistles to get it rectified. Fortunately, I was blessed to be in a position where I could actually make those payments for a couple of months until things got rectified. Now, at the end of the day, did I get a refund? Yes, your boy did get a refund, but y'all already know the game. Y'all know how it is. When you owe somebody money, they want their shit right away. When they owe you a refund, they going to snail mail it to you. It's going to take their time processing. You get it in 4, 5, 6 months, something to that effect. So ever since that happened, I've always been on my P's and Q's, and I always keep an eye on my escrow account. So we all know your escrow account is essentially just a portion of your mortgage payments that's allocated for paying your taxes and your insurance. So now that we know what an escrow account is, essentially according to the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, servicers are required to do an annual escrow analysis at least once per calendar year to make sure that your escrow for your taxes and your insurance are accurate, so your mortgage payment is as accurate as possible. Here's where it gets interesting. How the servicer does this escrow analysis is interesting because those numbers can be based on an estimate. So what that means is I got a mortgage servicer. My servicer in December, for example, they always conduct their annual escrow analysis. Because it's an estimate, that servicer can automatically say, you know what, we are going to increase the amount of the escrow by 2% for taxes and 1% for insurance every year because that's about the national average. Well, they make those adjustments based on those slight increases. Your mortgage payment may go up a little bit, and you just pay a little bit a month. So it's not if you got a fixed mortgage rate, the escrow can potentially change in small increments. And that's why it changes, because they are estimating, or they'll do an escrow analysis where they say, okay, your taxes are going to go up a little bit, your insurance are going to go up a little bit. We need to charge you a little bit of extra to offset for that extra cost that's going to be placed on your taxes and your mortgage insurance. Well, here's where the problem is. Because it's an estimate, you know what that means? Sometimes they can get it wrong. You know what else can happen? Sometimes there could be changes in local tax laws where your tax liability may stay the same or it may reduce. A lot of states have what they call a homestead deduction, where if it's your primary residence and certain requirements are met, you can reduce the actual tax amount that you pay on your residential property. I know they have that where I live. So, because of all this nonsense, because of all these mistakes, I check my escrow maybe like every 4 months. Because the city made mistakes, the servicer is estimating shit, and you know what? I need it to be accurate. So they weren't required to do their annual escrow analysis until December. I looked at it and I said, you know what? These numbers don't look right according to what the current taxes are for my property. So I did a little research, I did a little digging, and clearly my concerns were valid. There was a slight error in my escrow that increased my mortgage probably about by $300 a month. Think about it. Because their estimation was off, my mortgage payment was higher, over $300 a month than what it should have been. So, based on the numbers, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen, the estimated amount of my total escrow account balance was $10,238. The actual amount of the cost was $6,390. So you can see there, I actually had an overage of $4,400. So that's actually how I found and got the check, because when I went back and looked at the numbers, I saw the numbers was off. They owe me $4,400, so your boy got a check in the mail, or will be getting a check in the mail whenever the hell it comes, for $4,400. Now, if we go down to the bottom of the screen, because my projected escrow balance and my actual escrow balance is lower, you can see all the way at the bottom, my current payment was $2,526 a month. Now my payment in November 1st, effective November 1st, is going to be $2,205, consistent with what the actual tax and insurance status is on my property, not an estimate. So I just wanted to give you all a heads up. This is something that you should periodically take a look at least once every 4 months, just to make sure the numbers make sense. I would recommend 2 things. One, you actually start with the city or county where you live, whatever that agency is, whatever the agency may be called in your area that handles the classification of real estate in your area. You can put in your property search address, put your address in the property search, click a link. It'll show what your tax obligation is. It'll show the classification of your property. You want to ensure that it's classified as actual residential property, not commercial, not abandoned, not any other stupid shit that they could potentially make a mistake on, which will increase your tax liability. The second thing you need to do is every 4 months, just take a look at your escrow account to make sure it makes sense. Take a look, compare what they are charging you for your escrow account to pay your taxes and insurance with your actual insurance bill for your home, with your actual tax bill that you can find with your local state or county. Compare all of that shit. It could save you a lot of money. And remember, if they make a mistake, ain't nobody gonna find mistakes but you. Luckily, I've been blessed where I've been catching these mistakes. Sometimes I caught some of them late, but I was able to catch them. I was able to catch them and rectify them. So I wanted to give y'all a heads up. If you got some value from this video, if you found it entertaining, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell notification. Hey, as always, y'all take care. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Peace.